Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today. Sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage Huntsville. You guys know why you were here. I wanted to do a quick reaction video / recap of the live that Carlos King did last night with Melody Cherie. An announcement of Carlos King's podcast going on tour starting in 2024 in January the 21st, and he's first going to Huntsville. He is first having Melody Cherie Rogers as his guest, and so basically I felt like he was really trying to convince the millimeters that he's not that bad, but I just have so many thoughts, you guys, and also the show apparently is already sold out, and I guess the venue opened up additional tickets as well for people to purchase, but I have a feeling more than likely it may get moved to a larger venue. If there is this much demand, if this many millimeters are showing up and showing out, for support, right? But there were a few things I had issues with throughout this whole thing with this live with Carlos King and Melody Cherie, and this is why people continue to voice their concerns about Carlos King. So he says, for the record, that Melody Cherie is authentic, never calls Carlos King about anything, to complain about anything, never calls to pre-produce any conversations or any scenes or anything like that, or have like a pre-game call before even this live. He says whatever you get from Melody Cherie, it is going to be the moment that the moment that you're live with her. And this doesn't shock me at all, because remember, there are several cast members over the seasons that will talk about how they have to talk to Carlos King, or they're in trouble with Carlos King for something that they said or that they did on social media, and Carlos has to rein them in and all this other nonsense. So I'm not shocked at all that that's why I'm like, well, how can you be close to Melody Cherie, but she never calls you? Make it make sense. I also had an issue with Carlos King. He loves, to call himself the king of reality TV, but he has a certain approach to these reality shows that I feel end up getting very toxic, that we do not have enough discussions about. The first season, first couple of seasons usually is when Carlos King is at his best, but unfortunately the biases start to come in, and you start to see a shift in the edit of certain people, and it's no longer a balanced ensemble cast. Now the focus is just really either bullying one person or only having one person be the main storyline, and then everybody else in the cast latching onto that because they don't want to share their truth, right? And so as a viewer, as a fan, that's not entertaining or fun to watch, right? It's not fun. Even if you don't like somebody, it's not fun to just isolate them like that, right? Like you are all being paid to do a job. So I kind of felt a certain type of way about that, because yes, you do bring shows, yes, you do know people to have the right movers and shakers to greenlight these shows on own, but after a certain point, we have to be honest about the state of the shows, right? Also, another issue that I had with the live was Carlos King kept mentioning Martell, but wasn't mentioning him by name, but kept saying your ex-husband this, your ex-husband that. And it was just getting okay, you were doing decent throughout this live until you keep inserting Martell. If you are actually a millimeter, if you actually stand for Melody Cherie, you wouldn't be blowing up Martell like this, right? And trying to make everything, about him. Oh, it was me and, it was you and your ex-husband that were at the airport. It was, this wouldn't be possible without you and your ex-husband, knowing daggone well this is Melody Cherie's baby. Martell allegedly, what was his contribution? Right? This was Melody's brainchild. Just because he was physically there doesn't mean that he was an integral part of this, right? So I just, when he says that he is the CEO of the Millimeters and that he is the founder of the Millimeters, no Millimeter is hyping up Martell like this. No Millimeter in existence. And this is what I mean. You would be calling out Martell and holding Martell accountable if you were actually a Millimeter. You would not be setting up, different opportunities for Martell and trying to give him all these chance after chances and really put Melody Cherie in a state of danger to the point that she has to have hired security around her, specifically whenever she knows that potentially Martell can show up anytime, anywhere, any place. And you think it's okay as long as you have a hit show on OWN. And you're literally putting Melody Cherie in an unsafe environment. But I'm supposed to believe you're the CEO of the Millimeters. Make it make sense, you guys, because no CEO of any type of Millimeter would put Melody Cherie in danger with her ex-husband just popping up any old kind of way at all of the events that Melody Cherie tries to have privately. Right? And so I really felt a certain way about that, because I'm like, are we really just going to pretend that, all this stuff isn't going on, that all this drama isn't going on? Meanwhile, you'll do these interviews with all these reality stars in ever existence on Bravo. You'll do your weekly recap lives with Dr. Heavenly from Married to Medicine, but you are mute on Love and Marriage Huntsville, even in this live. The only thing he mentioned was Melody Cherie's reaction to Martell and Deuces. Again, another reference to her ex-husband, right? But nothing else pertaining to the show or what we should have anticipating coming up in future episodes as we near the end of the season, as we near the closing of, season 6, and all they said was that season 7 is going to pop off. No exclusives about the reunion. So I'm like, okay, you guys keep alluding to changes, but what does that mean? Are you actually going to do casting changes this time, or are you just saying whatever so that you can get people to tune in? And that's why people have the concerns that they have, because once again, when Carlos King, needs that splash, he's all chummy and buddy with Melody Cherie, and he's like, you know what? You're the star of Love and Marriage Huntsville. You're the first guest. I'm gonna give you your flowers. Do you need a rider? Do you need, what do you need? We're gonna roll out the red carpet for you, and blah blah blah, right? But where are you when Melody Cherie was being bullied? Where were you when Melody Cherie was being attacked left and right by her castmates and her ex-husband, and she was supposed to just take it, right? She was supposed to just take it all on her own because the cast took Martell's side, because either he's hiding their secrets or they're too jealous of Melody Cherie to be a human being and have some empathy, right? So I'm just trying to figure out, why we have to play these games, right? And I just hated that. I just hated all the sucking up, because I'm like, if you really love Mel like you say you do, you wouldn't be letting all of this foolishness take place, right? Because where were you when the Revenge P went viral on social media and everywhere else, right? But any other time something else is going on with a cast member on another show or whatever, you have no problem throwing shots at them. No problem throwing shots at them, right? But when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville, you're nowhere to be found unless it is an interview for your podcast. Otherwise, you're nowhere to be found, right? But you have no problem reviewing every single episode, every single social media drama that is taking place if it involves something going on at Bravo, right? So that is my frustration, right? Is you need Melody Cherie. That's why I never understand why people want Melody Cherie to quit her own show. You need Melody Cherie because your ticket sold out within 8 hours because Melody Cherie is a star. But yet, she is treated differently on this show, to where people have taken their opportunities, whether on the show or on social media, to just take direct shots at her and say all these things about her, right? And just paint these false narratives. And not once do you ever come in and say, you know what, stop it, that's not okay. We're not going to conduct ourselves like that. Not once have you told the cast to stop this foolishness with social media, right? And just blatantly trying to link up with certain people to spread misinformation and spread lies about Melody Cherie that are completely damaging, hurtful, and, you know, completely salacious, completely false, completely unproven, just so that you can redirect any type of negativity or backlash against yourself, so that the narrative can change, right? And so that is why I'm just kind of on the fence about all of this. I would like to go to this, you know, to see Melody Cherie in person, but I just don't know, you guys. I'm really struggling with all of this, right? Like I said, separate from, you know, how Carlos King, you know, treats some of these reality stars, right? Once he starts to, you know, embark on his favoritism. You know, it's no shade about you being able to be successful and being a producer on reality TV, right? Like I said, you will get your flowers for your first few seasons when Real Housewives of Atlanta was at its peak, right? But then ultimately it went into a completely dark and mean girl energy atmosphere, and it was not fun to watch anymore. Right? Even leading up to your final season on the show. And the same thing is happening on Love and Marriage Huntsville, where it is nothing but mean girl energy, right? Where you have Letitia purposely bringing up Martell anytime Melody Cherie is in front of her, after Melody Cherie told her she doesn't want to talk about her ex-husband and stop mentioning him to her. Yeah, so it's like there wasn't really anything new that I felt was exposed or revealed in this live with Melody Cherie. Carlos was trying to poke at Melody Cherie's personal life to find out if the guy in her video for her Christmas song was somebody that she was involved with romantically, and she said no. And then he asked her, you know, who is she romantically involved with? And she was like, well, people will have to find out in January at the live event. And then Melody Cherie said that there's no question off limits, right? And I find that interesting because I already knew Melody Cherie is like that, right? I already know that pretty much anything you ask Melody Cherie, she'll talk about it, right? That's why I never understand why people try to push the false narrative that Melody Cherie is fake or that Melody Cherie acts like she's above others. She has been very open about all of the drama that she has had with the cast, especially her ex-husband. So I have no idea why people are trying to put out like all these false things about Melody Cherie. If you don't like her, you don't like her, or if she's not your favorite cast member, it is what it is. But to just blatantly just lie and slander people just for sport, I just can't rock with, right? So there's that. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.